There are stories in the Bible that bring comfort, and there are stories that inspire hope. But then there are stories that make people stop, reflect, and feel uncomfortable. Stories that feel painfully human. The story of Cain and Abel is one of those stories. It's short, but its message runs deep. It's not just about two brothers who lived long ago. It's about comparison, rejection, jealousy, and what happens when emotions are left unchecked. If you've ever felt overlooked, misunderstood, or quietly angry when someone else was chosen instead of you, this story may feel closer than you expect. If stories that reveal deep life lessons interest you, take a moment to like this video. It helps this message reach others. After Adam and Eve were sent out of the Garden of Eden, life changed completely. The world was no longer easy or perfect. Everything now required effort, patience, hard work. In time, Eve gave birth to her first son, named him Cain. Later, she gave birth to another son and named him Abel. The two brothers grew up in the same home, raised by the same parents, yet they chose different paths. Cain became a farmer, working the soil, planting crops and waiting for the land to produce food. Abel became a shepherd, caring for animals and watching over his flocks. Both jobs were honest, both were necessary, neither was better than the other. As time passed, both brothers decided to bring offerings to God. Cain brought some of the fruits he had grown from the ground. Abel also brought an offering, but he brought the best portions from his flock, the firstborn and the finest parts. The Bible tells us that God looked with favor on Abel and his offering, but he did not look at Cain's offering in the same way. Cain noticed immediately. His heart sank, anger rose inside him, and his face fell. In that moment, comparison crept in. Why was his brother accepted and not him? What had he done wrong? Was he not good enough? If stories that reveal deep life lessons interest you, take a moment to like this video and don't forget to subscribe. It helps this message reach others. These are questions humans have been asking for generations, and if this part of the story feels familiar to you, take a second to engage with this video. Liking it helps more people find stories that speak honestly about real struggles. God did not ignore Cain's anger. Instead, he spoke to him. He asked why Cain was angry and why his face was downcast. Then God gave Cain a warning that still matters today. He told him that sin was crouching at the door, waiting to take control, but Cain had the power to rule over it. It was a moment of choice. Cain could confront his emotions, learn from the moment, and change, or he could let his anger grow into something darker. Cain said nothing. Instead of dealing with what he felt, he allowed resentment to settle in his heart. It grew quietly, feeding on jealousy and pride. One day, Cain spoke to Abel and asked him to come out into the field. There was no argument recorded, no loud fight, no warning signs. While they were alone, Cain attacked his brother and killed him. If stories that reveal deep life lessons interest you, take a moment to like this video and don't forget to subscribe. It helps this message reach others. The first brothers, the first family, the first human life taken by another human, not out of survival or defense, but out of unchecked anger. Later, God came to Cain and asked him a simple question: "Where is your brother Abel?" Cain replied, "I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper?" It was a cold response, filled with denial and defiance. But the truth could not be hidden. God told Cain that Abel's blood was crying out from the ground. Cain's actions had consequences. God declared that the ground Cain once worked would no longer yield to him easily. His life would become unsettled, and he would wander the earth. Cain was overcome with fear, saying the punishment was more than he could bear. Even then, God showed mercy by placing a mark on Cain, not to shame him, but to protect him from being killed by others. Cain left the presence of the Lord and continued his life, carrying the weight of a single moment that changed everything. This story leaves us with powerful lessons. God is not impressed by appearances alone. He looks at the heart. Comparison, when left unchecked, can destroy relationships and lives. Anger itself is not the problem, but refusing to face it can lead to irreversible consequences. And the question Cain asked still echoes today. Am I my brother's keeper? This story quietly answers that question. Yes, we are. Our choices affect others more than we realize. What we do in private moments can shape entire futures. If this story made you pause or reflect, you're not alone. This channel exists to explore stories like this, stories that don't avoid hard truths, but help us search for meaning and growth. If you want more thoughtful, grounded Bible stories told in a relatable way, consider subscribing and staying connected. You can also share this story with someone who may need it today. And feel free to leave a comment about what part of the story stood out to you the most. Because these stories were never meant to end on a page or in a video. They are meant to stay with us, challenge us, and help us choose better when we stand at our own doors.